riding up long, steep hills on a dirt bike can be really difficult, especially if you're challenged by obstacles on the trail that cause your front tire to jump up, making you slow down and maneuver around them. This is especially difficult if you're on a powerful dirt bike that has snappy power. So how do you know when to pull in the clutch so that you don't stall or go flying off the trail because the bike is too powerful? Well, if you feel like the RPM is dropping so much that you feel like the engine's going to stall, well, then you either need to shift down gear, but if you're already in first gear, then you need to do one of two things. If you want to keep going, then you need to pull in the clutch slightly and you need to modulate it so that the RPM stays in the meat of the power. But if the hill is too steep and you know you're going too slow that you're going to have to stop, well, then you need to pull in the clutch all the way and then come to a stop, and so that you don't roll back down the hill, you need to turn your bars and kind of roll back sideways on the hill so you're kind of leaning into the hill so you can put a foot down, and then you can safely ride back down the hill. But if you want to keep the engine going so it doesn't stall, you need to really be smooth and efficient with the throttle and the clutch to keep it in the right RPM range to keep accelerating up that hill. And when you do come up to an obstacle and you have to slow down, you'd be surprised how low the engine can go in the RPM before it does stall, especially on modern enduro bikes. But if it does become snappy, so you're in too low RPM or too high RPM and you give it throttle and it's too snappy, it kind of makes it hard to control. You have to death grip the bars. The common mistake is reacting to what the bike does. So for an example, if you twist the throttle and you're just sitting there and the bike kind of starts to go out from under you, you grab the handlebars even tighter and you have to pull yourself back up. Well, maybe you're still in control, but what this is doing is putting too much pressure on your arms and your hands, and it causes you to pump up and ride tense, and you won't be able to stay in control very long because the bike is controlling you rather than you are controlling the bike. So what do you do instead? Well, you have to anticipate what the bike is going to do when you accelerate or when you're going over an obstacle. And if you've never done this before, this can take a little bit of practice, but once you start paying attention to what the bike will do when you're going up a hill or over an obstacle, you need to anticipate by shifting your body weight. For example, going up a hill, you got to shift it forward before you accelerate so that you can stay relaxed with your arms when you do give it gas, instead of gassing it, getting pushed back on the bike and then pulling yourself up. If you have to pull yourself back up, then you didn't anticipate what the bike is doing well enough. So did this make sense? Do you find this helpful when riding up steep hills? Let me know in the comments below. I'm Kelly Fager from Motocross Hideout. Learn more, ride more, so that you can stay safe and have fun for many years to come.